Yes, hello, welcome to Coast to Coast. Oh, my Lord, the miracle at Marvel, they're calling it. What an absolute spectacle for anyone that was lucky enough to watch all 4 quarters. Oscar Allen joins me in the studio. Mate, I can't... For starters, I'm that pumped to get into this episode. Is it because we won?
Mate, what a cracker. I think so. I'm in the same boat as you where I'm excited to see what we can do on the airwaves. Maybe there's just good vibes going through the club, but what a game. What a game.
We got Jermaine Jones coming up a little later who was part of it, but first we're just going to dive straight in because it's going to be another absolute monster of a recording. So we're... Couch again, Oz? Do I dare ask? Couch again?
No, don't ask.
What were your thoughts? Did you give us a chance going into the last? Parochial rose-coloured glasses aside.
Yeah, I did. I thought, I mean, people say we started slowly, but I thought we started with intent and that kind of carried through the game. I think in the third quarter, we probably went away from our brand and the positive sign was we went out of it at 3/4 time. So I was like, well, we can't necessarily play that much worse than what we did in the third quarter at the start of the fourth and we're still a red hot shout here. And then what happens. We have some really good individual moments and collectively, we probably took our chances better than Collingwood. And on reflection, I think Craig McRae would probably be flat as attack with the result. But that's how footy works, right? You don't take your opportunities. That's how it comes back to bite you in the bum.
We lost games last year off the same, standpoint.
We did.
With inaccuracies. But Collingwood dominated that third quarter. They were double our inside 50s and the damn wall felt like it was breaking along there. And then... there were a few moments that happened. The Willie Rioli push in the back was a monster moment.
That is, crazy call from the umpire.
I don't want you getting fines here, Oscar.
No, that was crazy.
Because I was there at Etihad, at Marvel, and the crowd went bananas when that happened because then they showed the replay, of course, to rile them up.
Yeah.
And Willie was very lucky and very nonchalant with his left foot.
I couldn't believe how close that was to getting touched. He's almost like, I almost thought he hadn't played on yet or he hadn't heard it. I was like, oh my God, Willie, like screaming at the TV, but... why do I doubt the man? He can do everything, can't he?
Well, let's do our Willie talk now then.
Yeah.
I think the proof is in the pudding with these players returning from COVID and there is some lingering effects, I think. Are they running out the games to the full extent that they would? Everyone's different in terms of how they're recovering from it, but I'm going to give people passes from their first game back from the COVID absence. Is that a fair point?
I think so. I'll be interested to see... on reflection, in a year or so's time, if we look back and think, well, we probably could have done this way or the other. Obviously, we haven't had the opportunity or the option because guys have come back and they kind of need to play straight away because we don't have the depth in our team right now. But Richmond, for example, Noah Bolter was under protocols and came out on day 7 and played that day. Like, that's crazy.
How did he play?
He played okay, I think. I think this was for round 1.
Yep.
So it's something where other clubs have done it, but then you look at other sporting leagues, and I don't understand the science behind it, this is getting too much COVID talk, but like some NBA players for 3-4 months said they felt like and that they haven't come back to the same aerobic capacity than what they used to be. So I'm not sure how long-term it's going to affect the boys I don't know enough about it, but it'll be interesting to see because, it's really strange. But you also, in another instance, you can't say, well, I'll give them a way out because that's just an excuse, right? Otherwise, we should just not play them for that first week. So I know it's part of the parcel, but it's very, very interesting subject really to talk about.
Well, I'll tell you what, number 44 showed very little ill effect from it.
No effect.
He's come off 4 snaggers against the Kangaroos, had a week off, and then done this. And back-to-back performances like that on the road, unbelievable. He's so accurate as well with ball in hand.
Doesn't miss chances, hey?
No, the set shots. I'd love to get his overall set shot record.
And he's played 3 games, and 2 of them he's probably best on ground, minus Gov.
Yeah. Gov got the coaches' votes as well.
Gov's on another planet right now. He's 2017 Gov.
We're going to get to Gov. All right, let's not spoil the party.
Willie.
So Willie.
Gun. Just Willie Gun.
And it was fantastic how he handled his post-match interview with Fox after the game as well. The midfield group now, Oz.
Yep.
So, wow.
Really experienced, eh?
I went up to Redo on the plane. I said, are you ready for like 4 different tandem tags throughout the day? He goes, well, I don't think I've been tagged in my life. But I said, this is the one chance you probably might.
Yeah.
So it's him and Nick. We'll get to Nick later. Absolutely gutting news. But that's your engine room. It's Nick, Redo, and then just so many youngsters.
Yeah, it was good opportunity. The likes of O'Neill, Naish, West, and then a man we'll have on the show later, Jermaine Jones, had a spin through there.
Everyone had to go
Everyone
through
had
there.
to go.
Duggo was in there the last quarter because you lost Luke Edwards.
Yep.
He didn't play the start of the fourth. Might be his OP flaring up again, which would be gutting for him to not be able to shake that. But he subbed off at three-quarter time. Duggo's spending time in there.
Hugh Dixon.
Yeah.
A gun.
Oh, what did he have? He had 16 touches, 6 marks. You take that every day of the week from Hugh Dixon heading into the game.
Yeah.
Big call not to play Bailey Williams against Brodie Grundy, I felt. And they went with Hugh and
repaid him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. I actually went to my mum's after the game because my mum and dad said, "Do you want to come over and watch the game?" I said, "No, I do not. I'd rather do it on my own."
Why is that?
I'd rather do it on my own.
Was Smudge there? Is it just I want to do it?
No. It was genuine, just me.
Right.
Like
okay.
no one else there. And then I went over to mum and dad's afterwards, and they were just raving about Dicko, and I was like, "You guys have never spoken about me like this. Like, this guy is more like than their own son." But he was terrific.
He had a few ripping, pulled inside kicks into the corridor, which opened it up.
He is so clean and skillful with it by foot.
Yep. O'Neill, 24, PB.
Yep, PB.
You know what his last was?
16?
18.
Oh, good guess.
Close. To beat it by 6 is
but he's got big numbers in the waffle. So I think this is something he's capable of just whilst he gets more comfortable at the level.
Naish, PB, 23 touches.
With the licence to pull kicks wherever he wants.
Essentially, yeah. And then we're going to go with Westy. So his 16 touches doesn't really justify what his game equated to.
Yeah.
The amount of pressure that he was able to put on and sort of how hard he was hitting the contest really set the tone for his teammates. But in the fourth quarter, clearances 11-5. I think we had 3 goals to nothing in terms of clearances in the fourth quarter. So to rely on these youngsters to help you get it over the line just made it that much sweeter.
All standing up when it was required the most, and that's what you love. And I thought, as you mentioned, Westy, his numbers don't necessarily show his output on the game, just how good he is in the contest and how ferocious his attack on the ball was. All of them really just played their role like that. When it comes down to it, they knew what their role was and they just executed it really well.
His hair's decent too.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's crazy.
He's doing plenty.
It's crazy.
So then we go to the forwards.
Yep.
You done with the mids?
I'm done with the mids.
Any more mid talk?
Oh,
Besides the fact that
the guys that are coming back.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that a little later then of who is going to return. So then it's the forwards. JK didn't touch the Sharon until 7 minutes left in the second. Gary Lyons almost he hasn't potted him, but
I remember.
He's basically brought up, hey, JK hasn't touched it, and no joke, 20 seconds later, he's snapping one so similar to that Richmond goal at Optus Stadium.
He's bellied that one as well. Like that is rolling end over end. That wasn't out of the manual, but he just kicks goals. Like all of his goals on a scale of 1 to 10 hardness, 10 being hard, they're all 7+. Like they're all goals that you go, whoa, that was a good kick.
That's got to be one of the hardest kicks in footy though, is snapping it with the height and for the distance of 40 metres.
I certainly wouldn't be doing it.
Nah.
But I'm certainly not JK either. So.
Not yet, mate. Not yet. So he was super efficient. I think he had 3 goals.
From 5 touches?
Yeah. Well, it was from 4 at the time, and then he must have just got a little junk time touch at the end. But his snap, which was, of course, fed by Willie Rioli in the fourth, was the one-stepper, was within 20 seconds, and that was the we believe moment.
Yeah, that was when I was watching, I was like, we're winning. We'll win this game,
Zach Langdon.
Yeah, Langers.
Arguably one of his best games. So he and Liam Ryan both had 7 score involvements. There was a moment there to end the second where quick kick out of the stoppage, the CBD, and he's taken it so cleanly.
Mate, I'm telling you, he's a clean man and he's a great contested mark.
Yep. And he turned around and hit Liam Ryan, and that was a goal to give him plenty of momentum. I think they put them just in front heading into the main break. It's going to be so interesting what they do with this forward line now, Oz, because you're in the wings, but you're weeks away. You're a different problem. I don't want to even think about you yet.
Yeah.
You're going to add a whole new level of complexity to it. But Cripper's 1-2 away. He might play this week against the Swans.
Yeah, he's a potential, I think, to play this week. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And then you've got Jack Petricelli, who was in the side, who missed due to protocols.
Correct.
Then Sam Petrescu-Seaton had a little calf. I think he's a chance to get up this weekend. So the man we just had on the show, Jermaine Jones, we've got a plethora of small forwards.
I don't think you can drop Langdon off that game, but we'll see. Because we'll wait and see. I think I've liked it so far. All right, you done with the forwards?
Yeah, done.
Yeah. All right, back line. Jeez, that was so important early doors.
Yeah.
I think Gov and TB combined for 5 intercept grabs in the first quarter. And Collingwood soon had to learn, like, we can't keep going down the line here. This is not ending well for us. In fact, both teams rebounded really well to start the first. But I think TB had a career-high spoils. What's his career-high spoil number, you reckon?
Maybe like 12 or 13?
It's 12. Well done.
Yeah, that is a genuine pluck out of thin air. I was going to say 14. But in my notes here, we've got backline was rock solid. I think that's one of the biggest understatements of all time. They were terrific. Jeremy McGovern is head and shoulders above any other back in the competition right now. He is playing a different level than anyone else. Shannon Hearn, at age 47, is looking tremendous. How is he one of the guys who's played every game?
That's incredible, isn't it? Well, ask JJ and see if he knows all four.
And then Tom Barras has come off protocols as well, first game back, and he played at a really high level. The whole back line together, you've got youngsters in there. Liam Duggan coming back second game off protocols as well. Missed a long period of time with a serious knee injury. Then you've got Brady Hoff, his third game, really doing his role for the side. It's a collective, and as a back line, it's been terrific. I'm forgetting Alex Withen. He had 30 touches. Like, everyone's doing their part.
The thing is that the back line is the least affected really at the moment through your protocols and your injuries. So it's Tommy Cole is the only defender not available for selection at the moment, which makes Brady Hoff's inclusion in the side even more impressive and who he's keeping out.
Well, also Jackson Nelson's having to play in the midfield currently because of the lack of midfielders that we have currently available. So there's the other back that Hoffy is helping to, I suppose, play in the side, play a similar role to. So it'll be interesting to see again what happens this week if Jacko stays in the midfield or goes back to the back line.
Yeah, played a bit of wing. So if, they said Gaffey's probably not going to return for the Sydney game.
Right.
So maybe they continue with Jacko on a wing. It'd be interesting if they played Cripper on a wing, if they made him return. It's going to be such an interesting... Finally, it's going to be an interesting selection for a completely different reason for what it has been.
How exciting is this young... I know we said we weren't talking about the midfielders anymore, but you've got O'Neill, Naish, West, and then you've got other young players that are missing. Like, Campbell Chesser was almost a lock to play round one.
Would you say he was, Oz?
Mate, he was 100% playing round one.
So was he playing a wing position then?
Yeah, he was playing the other wing.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
And now you think about the future of the football club in the midfield, something that from the outside has been questioned, which it's never been questioned internally. I think there's a lot of marginal growth out of those players to come in the future years.
So that's the thing, is that whether we won this game against the Pies or not, this was going to be the one advantage to having a completely decimated team for the beginning of 2022. You get to see where these boys are at. You get to give them the opportunity. We've seen it time and time again from a host of different sporting codes and especially in the AFL. So I'm glad a lot of these boys have risen to the occasion, because what you're now doing is you're putting yourself up or down in the hierarchy or on the pecking order, and then you've got to let your waffle form speak for itself. Before we leave the midfield again, as you spoke about, Nick Nat is the major downside, really the only downside from this Collingwood performance. He's been injured with minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Now, this wasn't Nick Nat's dream start to the season. I think he'd put his hand up by his own admission. He was affected by the COVID protocols also. But this is something that, for a man that's had 2 knee recons, absolutely thrilled that it's got nothing to do with the ACL. But at the same time, to not see him in the second half, it's certainly the one area that West Coast hasn't got a plentiful supply of, and that's tall ruckman.
Yep. I mean, the silver lining is someone like Bailey Williams, who against North Melbourne, when Nick wasn't playing because of the protocols, probably played his best game in AFL footy so far. So I'm sure he'll take on the responsibility well with the confidence that he can play the role. But it is disappointing. Like, we're not going to sugarcoat it. Nick's probably I'd say he's our best player, and it's a hard one to manage. I mean, immediately you have the personal relationship feeling where you go, I'm so sorry, mate. But then also on the other hand, you've kind of got to move on as a playing group, because we've had a lot of guys. I mean, you think about Cripper, Coley, Chesser. Those guys have missed a chunk of the footy, and particularly those last two, Coley and Chesser. So I don't want to kind of brush past it. It is a subject which is tough, because personally you feel sorry for the guy, and he's been through a lot. But then on the other hand, a great opportunity for a young player, and it doesn't seem as serious as some of his other knee injuries. So we will see him again this year.
So one of the more clutch signings in the off-season or maybe just recently is the Luke Stranatica signing then. If anything does happen to Bailey Williams or Hugh Dixon or whether they feel that Luke has the opportunity to surpass either one of them, it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, maybe Stranatica plays this week instead of Bailey. I don't know. I'm not in the match committee, but I think...
You should be. You're not doing much. You're on the couch doing sweet FA.
That is not true at all because I'm actually the Waffle Forwards line coach. So
really?
So I coached the Waffle team on the weekend.
We're going to get the Waffle Watch. Wow, didn't know that. Didn't know any of that. All right, other points of the game I want to touch on is one of the most important moments of that was the final minute and a half. I was down this end, so I was at the race at this point, ground level. Geez, the game looks that much faster when you're down at ground level watching it. Yeah, compared to TV, 100%, or even in a box with me feet up.
Must be nice.
Yeah, just getting the caviar, spoon fed to me. So when Pendles fired that ball to the top of the goal square,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it was Hoskin Elliott and Cameron. It's within a goal at this point.
Yeah, it was 4 points.
Yeah, and either one of them could have just gobbled it so safely and, the crowd noise, probably very little talk. They're all knackered at the end of this game and they've just slammed into each other like a couple of 10 pins and the balls... It was an amazing sequence because do you know what happened next?
I do. It bounced at right angles. Brady Hoff picked it off and chewed out a 45 to the other side of the ground where Willie marked it on the junction.
No.
What?
This is the moment where they kicked it out to the... Oh, goodness me, I don't know what wing it was, but it was when Liam Ryan was sitting and waiting underneath it, and then Crisp, I think, was waiting to tackle him, and he's grabbed Liam as soon... it didn't matter if Liam had fumbled that ball, it was going to be holding the man. I think Crisp just said, I've got to tackle him no matter what's about to happen, and he's ended up, the tackle slipped and he's legged him.
Sorry, no. So this is what happened. So Hoff marked it, kicked it to the wing... Hoff picked it up, kicked it to wing to Willie. Then Willie kicked it down the line to Lamb, and it was Maynard. And Lamb.
Gotcha.
So same play. So Hoff takes a ground ball, hits a really brave kick to the other side of the ground, down the line to a one-on-one. And then, the Liam and Maynard. That looked like under 12s footy where it's kind of like at training session, it's like two guys, just go for it, no rules.
And one kid's bigger and been like, I'm just going to shirk you. It's just going to take me some time, but I'm going to shirk you off this tackle.
Yeah, and Maynard's a competitor as well. I'd say I don't want to say he's the biggest competitor, but he's a beast.
Yeah.
He doesn't give up easily. And
could have gone either way because the crowd went bananas wanting holding the ball.
Did you think he was holding the ball? Be honest.
Not really, because he didn't really retard him in the tackle that much. It's because it took so long. He grabbed him and Liam was able to kind of shimmy him. It's a great question because you're going to have to look at how the rule is stated. Or what the new interpretation was, because they've done the whole full 360 spin around. You've had the time, but there was really none of that.
There was no spin,
No. So...
And the other side, his hands were free the whole time to give a handball. And he held it for... I mean, I just wouldn't mind the play on call. All right, you potentially could have gotten rid of it. Your tackle was potentially a little bit low. There's a lot of grey. Play on.
Yep. It certainly would have been play on had it not slipped down below. Anyway, and then that kick from Liam has ended up going in the forward 50. Jacko Nelson handball to the loosh. The ceiling goal, you'd probably think.
Yeah.
So unbelievable.
It was a great
play. And then I think another minute later down my end was when... Is it Callum Brown from the Pies?
Yeah.
He's grabbed the ball.
Got absolutely missed.
Yeah, he did. And it was I went back and watched the broadcast angle of it. It had the far away camera. We call it hot dog cam. Because whoever's controlling it, the cameraman can do it with a hot dog in his hand. It's literally just panning there's no zooming. It's the easiest job in camera work for sport. So hot dog cam had it. And I was down about 20 metres away from this hit. And the sound it made when Liam has catapulted into him, it hurt him big time. And if Callum's anything like his old man, Gavin Brown, one of the gutsiest and hardest players I've ever seen in my time, he got back up eventually. But geez, that's not what you need with a minute left in a footy game.
That's one thing that since I haven't been playing and you go to training or games and you hear some of the contact and you're like, oh, you
bit cringy.
You quiver. You go, oh, that
hurt. Would you need training for that? Do you need me to run into you a couple of times?
Yeah, it might take a couple.
You wouldn't feel me?
Nah.
Okay, so then what about the hangers that were attempted though?
Yeah, Checkers... Something about West Coast v Collingwood. Checkers turns up.
Yeah.
That goal, I've still got nightmares from that final where he's kicked a goal, inside out floater from 50 on his left.
Oh, don't remind us.
Checkers is some type of player. I think he is...
Missed a couple of shots though.
He did miss a couple of shots, but I think he is perennially underrated. He is a gun.
All three on Gov, those marks, and they were quality. I think... they're all in the last quarter.
Did you see the one... where he marked it on the 50 and Dicko was behind him, and the look Dicko gave Gov was like, oh, I'm so sorry, mate. I'm so sorry. And Gov just like, I could just, when you know someone so well. So say, for instance, when JK kicks a goal, I'm watching the TV, I can hear what he's saying. Like I read his lips and I can, in my brain.
You got JK
it's
voice.
His voice.
Yeah.
It's his voice or whoever it is. And I could hear Dicko go, oh, mate, I'm so sorry. And Gov just going, and just running to the goal square and not saying anything. You didn't touch on it, but Jakey's snap, so funny when he spits his mouth guard out.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. So weird celebration. He's got so caught up in the pandemonium celebration that it's just flown out his mouth.
How's he didn't go give Jacko Nelson, who gave him the handball, a high five, ran straight past him, giving Bung a hug? Like, that's crazy.
That's fair, though. I'm hugging Bug any chance I get around the club rooms.
Yeah.
Give me a 3, 2, 1. Oh, sorry, Liam Ryan. If he'd have taken that mark, is that mark of the decade?
Which one?
He's jumped into the back of Noble's head hard and just managed to get kind of 1 mitt to it. Talking to him post-game, I said, mate, all you were really trying to do was make a contest because the ball almost hit the roof and Flynes had to make up the ground. What would that be? On right half forward, kicking to the right of screen. And he's got a little dangle on his head and just kind of got 1 mitt to it to not make it interference in the marking comp.
Right. I actually can't remember it, but I'll tell you what was almost mark of the decade and was, did you see Mitch Lewis's hang this weekend?
No.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, hang on. I got to show you this. Live air. I want to hear your reaction to it. So Mitch Lewis has gone up for
Did he win mark of the week?
I'm not sure. He's gone up for a contested mark and he's gone up with one hand and he's gone up with one hand and then he's caught it with the other. Hang on. This is Thumper's live reaction to it.
Against the Saints, no score. Oh, he's been pushed. Oh, wow.
How good is that?
So he's juggled it from one hand to the other, and it's a dead set push in the back from his opposition player too.
It's a double one-hander. Like he's gone up with one hand, smacked it down, and then just duked it with the other one.
You don't see that very often, do you?
That is a gun mark.
Redo took a good one-hander in defence as well. You see that in the fourth?
Yeah, I did see that. Redo, contested marks.
He's got a few of those in his arsenal when I go back and cut his 200-game highlight reel. Give me a 3, 2, 1.
3 Gov, 2 Rioli, 1 Nash.
See, I found the one to be the most difficult one.
Yeah, the one was...
pick.
So I was thinking between Nash, Dixon, Barras.
Is Liam in the conversation for 2 goals and 7 score involvements?
Yeah.
What more you want from your forwards, mate?
Nah.
If you do that, I'm literally like licking your boots at the end of the game.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. This isn't a...
Hey, mate, don't get defensive, all right?
We're
just talking here.
This isn't a he wasn't good. This is... I think Nashi was important, particularly in the first half when it looked like we could fall behind. He really invigorated our ball movement. So that's just my opinion.
I think his accuracy with ball in hand has improved as he's grinding out these games.
He's always been pulling these kicks, but they're going a little bit straighter nowadays.
Yeah, there was a couple where he's kind of made last-minute decisions as well with ball in hand, sort of gone to drop the ball and changed his mind and made the better decision for it. So, and that's unbelievable poise for a, 10-gamer, sub-10-gamer. So the only team, Port Adelaide are now in this territory, and we weren't far off being there ourselves, Oz. The only team to be 0-4 and make finals were the Swans back in 75. So history shows quite a difficult uphill climb starting the season in that fashion, no matter what reason, rationale, excuse you can give.
True, but Sydney, I think you've missed you've buried the lead here. Sydney also made the finals being 0-6 in 2018, or no, 2019. Do you remember that? Was it 2017?
Well, how have they, if I've got that stat?
No, they might be the only team from 0-4, but Sydney have done it from 0-6. Because I saw this the other day. Do you not remember that?
What year?
This Sydney team. Hang on.
Well, that's a dumb stat. Why would they say 0? This is the only team from 0-4 if there's a, like a caveat. Oh, there was a 0-16. That's rubbish.
So in 2017, the Sydney Swans started the season off 0-6 and bounced back to make the finals.
That's unreal.
Yeah, so not only is your stat wrong, but there is a far more impressive... Anyway, I understand what you're saying.
No. You pull me up on that. That is because I've read that somewhere, and I'll be quick on the front foot to go and give them an absolute clip as well.
So if you start 0-4, you are unlikely to make finals. I'm not sure if this is...
So you're saying if you go 0-4, you boys, we need to throw the next couple.
We need to be 0-6 to really make sure. But you've... I think you've preempted that we're going to lose, giving the fact that I've got Port and West Coast Eagles. So before the game, have you written this run sheet and you thought they're going to lose?
I might have written it at 3/4 time.
Right.
All right, so Oz, I asked you to do this in your spare time, and
Yes.
let's be frank, you've got an absolute truckload of it right now.
I don't know where this is coming from. I've been working my tail off. I do a lot.
Calm down, Oz. Calm down.
Sorry.
I want you to give me the the top 5 most memorable victories away from home in West Coast history. 20 years we'll give it because we're young pups.
This is so hard. Is this including finals?
No, well, let's. I'm guessing you've got enough in your arsenal. Should we discount finals?
Can we discount finals? It might change up a little bit. Can I have you go first?
No, we're going to do one for one. You can go and get nicked.
Okay.
So we're eliminating.
We both know what number 1 is. So should we just get that out the way?
Yep.
Number 1 is
Comeback Kings.
Comeback Kings. Adam Hunter's got his head split open. They're down by 45 points or whatever. They come back from there and then we win the premiership at the end that year.
It was a bit of a flog move from Cam Mooney to throw Hunts into the change rooms as well. And like for Hunts to kick the winning goal in Cam's face was just so poetic.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Then we're eliminating, because I've also got here, it was the 06 prelim, Sia.
No.
The elimination final was Shuey.
No.
Gone. Okay. Well, I'm just adjusting on the fly here.
You tell me your number 2, mate.
Okay. Fair call. Number 2, I've got Gov and after the siren goal. And it's not just because of how it ended. Did you play that game?
I didn't. So I was at the club. But it was 28.
I knew that. Oh, yeah. I did that.
Thanks. Yeah, that was also my number 2. Just from the impact of how it happened.
Well, what was so important about that game?
And that was like to break their back. Like...
Oh, Port season, you mean?
Yeah. That was like a really important, and we were fluxing in and out of form. Like we started off 9-1,
had a nasty middle period,
middle period, and then that was a really important game. And yeah, I just remember that was a really important game for us.
Yeah, what was clutch, and what I recall vividly is that we were absolutely cooked in the middle of that third quarter, and both them big men went down. So Dixon went down with an injury, as did Paddy Ryder, I believe, at the time.
They did, yeah.
And that was like a slither of hope going, wow, will that make a difference? Surely not. We're getting pretty beaten here. And it did. And that just showed how great a comeback it was when they looked dead and buried halfway through a third quarter. So that's number 2. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm probably putting this one 3.
Okay, you go, Matt.
So this is 3. All right, I'm putting this one 3 for all the reasons we've spoken about. I'd love to know what odds they were before the game. Do you know that? Because I know we've won away games at more drastic odds. But that engine room is, I know, like, if they have Taylor Adams and Degoe, I don't think we're winning this game.
Okay, so you're saying on the weekend it was number 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, I had it 4.
Yeah, I'm slipping 3 and 4. I'll tell you what I was going to be when we get there. But okay, well, what's your 3 then?
My 3 is actually during the hub when we played St Kilda. And people might not think, maybe I'm being biased in recent times, but this game against St Kilda, we had a lot out. The midfield was very similar. I think all we had out there was Kelly and Gaff of guys with big names.
It's 2 more names we had on the weekend.
There's 2 more than the weekend. But I think St Kilda were a better side than what this Collingwood team were. And that's no disrespect to them, but St Kilda were rolling. Like they were rock and rolling. They were thinking about, are we a chance to sneak into the top 4 here? And
did they make finals in the end?
They did. And Gov tore his hammy at the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. So we played the whole game without Gov. I remember I had a concussion test where I missed a quarter, so we were 1 short on the bench for a long period of time. I have that game ahead, just.
It's in my honourable mentions, but you were closer to the action. Okay. Certainly going to pay it.
Yep.
So I've got in here for number 4 was the 2009 Western Bulldogs victory at Etihad Stadium. So I don't know how well that's going to sit in your memory, but I'm pretty sure that was the game where we've been the longest odds to win away from home.
Really?
I think so. It was something outrageous. And 2009, because we're coming off 08 where we didn't make finals. 09 wasn't the spoon territory, but we're well and truly that way. And obviously Western Bulldogs are flying. Andrew Ambley's kicked 5. Lecker was on fire. It's one of those games where I reckon sometimes...
Is that the game Lecker kicked 12?
No, that was the Bombers. And that wasn't... I didn't want to put that in there for an individual effort because it wasn't much of a game.
Fair enough.
But the Bulldogs one was an absolute cracker. And stay tuned to the Eagles social channels when we play the Bulldogs, whenever that's going to be. I reckon we'll run that game back and say, have a look at some of these highlights because it might be forgotten about in West Coast eyes. That's my number 4. For anyone that will remember it, I'm sure they'll back me in. My
number 4 is going to be that Collingwood game. So I know it sounds like I've just swapped them over. I think that Collingwood game was vitally important, not only for the game itself, but what's preempted and led into the game. I think you've got to take the broader context in place.
Love it.
What's your number 5, Thumb?
I've got Nick Nat GWS.
Yeah.
So
Can I make... Yeah.
The reason why is because, again, we look dead and buried. I think Luke Shuey, that's one of Luke Shuey's, I think it's maybe his second best statistical game, barring finals, that he's played. It was an unbelievable performance from Luke Shuey to single-handedly kind of drag us back into the conversation of it. I think being at that game, like you with the Saints, you're a bit swayed by that personal experience of what you're doing there.
No, I agree. That should be my number 5. I've got another one in place, but this is purely selfish, my other one I've got
honourable mentions. So there's heaps
give me some honourable mentions.
Okay, so I've got the 2018 Pies game, which is the one where Nick Nat did his knee.
Yeah.
Which was when we had all that pressure of we can't play at the G, yada, yada. Collingwood well and truly in the hunt, beat him that day. That's just honourable mentions.
Yeah, that is an honourable mention. Yeah.
I've got 2007 round 1 ANZ Stadium, where we're coming off the 2006 grand final.
And we go straight back there.
Go straight, and we're playing them again. And this is at the height of, check out how intense this rivalry and how close this contest is between these two teams. And it was a ripping game, and it all came down to the Daniel Kerr tackle.
That was a cracker.
With McVeigh heading into the forward 50, a belter game away from home, and to do it coming off an 06 flag, I'm pretty sure they would have celebrated hard, and they were all fit, ready to go for round 1. Do it all again.
Yeah.
One more honourable mention was, I call it tennis ball gate. So this is 2011, where we're at the old Subi club at this point.
Is this where Coxie gets hit in the face?
Other way around. So JK's throwing a tennis ball at Coxie, nailed him, and Coxie, if you know Coxie, you know, can't let it go. He's like, nah, I'm not having that. And he's picked it up, and he's...
This is the warm-up, right?
Yeah, this is in the warm-up. No, this is in the warm-up room of training. So this
it's training.
It's midweek.
Yeah, right.
Midweek, and Coxie's called out to him. He goes, JK, and he's turned around and just sconned him an absolute ripper, just perfectly fit in his eye socket.
Almost detached his retina, didn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know the rumours, but didn't he miss a significant period?
He just missed that game,
right?
So it was going on the road to play the Dogs, and he reckons. I think I read in the article that JK was immediately dizzy, couldn't see, felt crook. And Coxie thought he was putting it on, because that's what you do.
Yeah,
you put it on and make him a bit nervous, have I done some damage here?
JK would have hated that.
Proper did damage to him. And the best part was, I think they've won by under 2 goals or under a goal, and Coxie got the 3 votes.
Bull.
Yeah, so he's turned it on going, I think I've got to play a game here. Our best forward's out.
Yeah.
And, geez, it was absolute quality. They're my honourable mentions, great man. So what's 5?
I've got another honourable mention. I think I'll take 5 as which one of those? One of those. Sorry, they're too hard to split.
Yep.
My honourable mention, and this is selfish, but this is because I was a part of it and I need to be a part of it because it's our and my podcast, so I'm going to be a part of it. Tell me if you remember this, 2019. This is what destroyed I'll stand by this. This destroyed the Adelaide dynasty. So we've gone against Adelaide. We're playing at the Adelaide Oval. We're down by 35 points at halftime. Do you remember this?
Oh, I was calling waffle. This is the game where you kick the seal or you kick the winning goal.
This is the game where I kick the winning goal.
What's funny, I was calling at Swan Districts that day, and I remember checking scores because they had them on at the same time, which was blasphemy, and then basically driving home and listening to it, and we'd clawed it all the way back. So tell us your first-hand account of what was maybe said at halftime or how that all came about.
I want to get it up. So we ended up winning by 12 points, but I remember going into this game, we were nowhere. We were going okay as a club, but then the game started and Adelaide were all over us. They were a really, really strong side. Remember Shannon Hearn absolutely killed Taylor Walker this day. A couple of contests where Bung was just... He was just bung. But I remember at halftime, Simo went around because Pikey used to coach at the Eagles, obviously, and he's gone around to one-on-one, I know, yada, 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 really getting in everyone's face, boys, we're really going to go out like this. And then we clawed our way back. And even at 3/4 time, we were down by 15 points at the Adelaide Oval in a really tough environment to win at.
Got a great record there.
I heard a stat the other day. We've never lost to Port Adelaide, the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, is that right?
Only Adelaide.
Okay.
Since they've moved to the new Adelaide Oval. But yeah, that was you know what else from that year? It was a wet game against Hawthorn at the G.
Yeah, that was when Cripper
kicked that goal
the sealer,
on his now wife Liv's birthday.
What a great way to celebrate.
So, yeah, we have had some crackers.
So that's our list. We'd love to hear what you think. Are we missing one? Hit us up at Thumpalicious at Oscar Allen 12.
7.
Get 12, mate.
I know, I need to change that. So
anyway, so we'd love to hear if we're wrong or if you've got a different one. We'll read it out on air next week, maybe.
Yeah.
Welcome back, listeners. It's an absolute pleasure to be joined by this fella. It's a long time coming because we teased him a couple of weeks ago. Just gave the fans a little taste like, oh, is he? And then we pulled him. But he is finally here. Jermaine Jones, welcome. I'm pretty sure this is your first time in the Eagles studio. How are you feeling about it?
It's not too bad. First time. Can't wait to get into it. Can't wait to have a couple of chats.
Welcome, mate. We were just having a chat before. This isn't your first interview or radio interview. Do you want to just tell me the quick little story you had for me, your first time having an interview?
Yeah, well, my first actual radio interview was in Hamilton, and I went with my older brother, and the guy that was there that was doing it actually noticed who I was and then sat me down as well, and then sat a couple of other boys down and asked us about football, and so pretty much stole the show from him. So if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, Aaron.
And your older brother was getting interviewed because of his guitar, right?
Yeah. So he sings and plays guitar, and he's really good at it.
Yeah, cool.
We got a lot to talk about, JJ, so not really sure where I'm going to start. Let's just do weekend game real quickly. Like, how unbelievable was that? Is it one of the best wins you've ever been involved in your career?
Yes, one of the best, yes.
Well, what's knocking it off then, mate?
That Richmond one.
Yeah,
you can't top the Richmond one we had over here.
Love it.
But yeah, the win on the weekend, I think it's just a starting point for us, and still go with the momentum. Hopefully we can get the win this Friday.
Were you sleeping on the plane or you just jacked, buzzing hard?
I was out to it. I was asleep. Everyone else was up. And then when you got flying around you, Liam Ryan
Buzzing
touching
around.
you every 5 seconds, trying to wake me up. I was like, mate, leave me alone, I'm trying to sleep. So
Virgin said there was blood in his seat too. I think he'd been rubbing his head on the side of the plane, and JJ's been contaminating Virgin Airways.
Yeah, did you get stitches or what have you got going on upstairs?
I got 3 stitches. So I got a bit of a knock on the top of the head. Got cut open in the first, I reckon, maybe minute of the game.
Yeah.
Which wasn't nice, but
Who did it?
I think maybe side bottom came in.
Yep.
Steel. The best name in footy, right? Steel side bottom.
With the knee, and it got me on top of the head. And funny enough, the lady that was actually doing my stitches said I had a really hard head and she couldn't get the stitches through. So
Is that a compliment?
I took that as a compliment, yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be the hero in the fourth quarter. You probably just one step. Like, you didn't have a lot of time with it, but you had match-winning goal written all over your CV for a bit.
So sorry, JK. I was going for the goal, but I was moving really slow, everyone said. But maybe I took too many one steps.
He was hot in your hammer.
Yeah. I watched the vision. I could have put it on the boot a lot quicker, but yeah.
He was unrecognisable for a bit. I didn't realise he had the shaved head until like halfway through the first. I was like, oh, it's JJ, of course.
Matt, at the football club, because when you're at the massage table, I reckon 3 people came up to you maybe Friday before you guys flew off, calling you Izzy Winder. Yeah.
Isaiah Winder. I've had it maybe, 4 or 5 times already, Isaiah Winder, so...
I'm going to go back in time for a little bit. Unless you got more stuff to ask him from the game. Oz. Seems like you weren't there. You're probably couching hard.
Oh, nah, not really. I mean, it was cool. It was cool to watch, but I know how it is. It would have just... When you're in the middle of it, you don't really feel like it's a really cool game until afterwards you're kind of like, oh, that was good fun.
Yeah.
You're just kind of playing and doing your thing, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back in time then, JJ. So, born in Broken Hill.
Yeah.
Moved around a bit.
Broken Hill. We're off to Broken Hill. Oh, no, we're broken down.
Right.
Have you not seen that ad?
I have, but that's just a hilarious impersonation you've put on. It's not your stereotypical upbringing by any means. You've bounced around through family members and foster homes. There's a great article on it for anyone that's got the time from Athlete's Voice who did the interview with, and you can find it easily on Google. Go and have a read. It's an amazing sort of explanation of JJ's upbringing, but you're a real late bloomer to footy.
Yeah.
So what age did you get bitten, and what was that experience like?
So I moved to Geelong with Sue. That's my adopted mum. When I was around maybe 10 or 11. And then, it was the first week I got there and she said, oh, you're playing football this week. And I was like, well, what's footy? She's like, oh, you'll see. Had no clue. Didn't know what the forward, back, pocket, midfield, anything was. So I got there on the game day. I was a long sleever. So I had long sleeves on, yep.
God, yeah.
I was a long sleever for a while. And the coach said, you're going to go in the forward line. So I started walking towards the back line. He goes, no, the other way. I was like, okay, sweet, all good. And I remember my first goal, the ball's getting kicked and I couldn't see anything. I've just stuck my arms out and it's just landed perfectly in my arms. I've turned around and snapped the goal and I've loved it ever since.
Full Sandlot kids moment.
Yeah.
Wrong position, accidentally taking catches.
And just the best player of all time.
And just the best player of all time.
Now, mate, I've heard a whisper. You've copped a couple of sprays early on in your football career.
Yes.
Can you give me some insight into that story?
Career turning sprays.
Which one?
Oh, do tell.
What's the biggest one you've been given?
I've had a couple. I've had one by my talent manager, Phil Partington, down in North Ballarat. He's pulled me to the side and said I wasn't taking things too seriously and, pretty much ripped me in front of everyone. And, it sort of scared me because I didn't think it would come from him. But, yeah.
And how old were you when that happened?
I was 15 when that happened, just about turned 16. And he said, he pretty much that day, he said, you're not going to make it to our side, under 16 side.
Cut you deep?
And cut me deep. So I came back the year after, a little bit more better in the mind and took it a bit serious.
Can certainly go either way depending on the person, can't it, Oz?
Yeah, I mean, especially that age, like, you're not expected to get hit in between the eyes from a coach, especially like your talent manager's normally your dude. So like your coach is maybe the one that gives it to you, but your talent manager's like your guy. He comes and finds you and kind of brings you to the club. So definitely could go one way or the other. Obviously it worked.
It did work.
What happened from there in your footy career? Obviously got picked up by the Cats. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so my draft was a bit different to other people. So I never got to play, like Vic Country or anything like that. I was always on the fringe. So then I went back and played Interleague. So Interleague is where you choose the best players from your league and you go and play another league. And I'd only played...
So is that inter-district? Is that the same? Is that
So I don't know what they'd call it over here in WA.
Just the best of the best?
Yeah, so you choose the best from that league. So my league was the Hampton League versus Ovens and Murray's, which is Mildura. I'm not even sure which way it is. But so you verse that league. And then I'd only played one game for Portland Tigers and I'd got chosen to play the interleague game and a couple of recruiters were down there in Hamilton, I think it was, maybe Warrnambool.
Yep.
And they were actually there to watch Cedric Cox.
Yeah.
Kid was a freak, could put him anywhere and could play. And they were there to watch a couple of other guys. And I'd stole the show and got best on for the day. And then Geelong.
Playing guts or playing forward?
I played the guts forward, which was pretty good. So then, and then I got a phone call from Geelong saying they'd want to catch up with me. And then, they came to my house that day or the next day and then said they were going to take me. So
after the national draft, was it well flat or was it an indication that perhaps we'll get you late in the rookie deals?
Yeah, there was a rookie deal straight away. They said, we'll take you in the rookie draft. And it was certain. So they gave me a top and all that. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. So they have to take me now.
Yeah, they have to take me now, yeah.
And I was like, and then they said, don't tell anyone until it happens. Of course, mum went around the whole town and everyone knew. So that was that. And it wasn't a surprise in the end, but yeah.
So Joel Selwood did something pretty cool. He phoned up Sue, JJ's mum, and was basically like, come down secretly and present the jumper to him. Because that really doesn't happen anymore. There's certainly everyone's aware when their family members or something like that's happening here.
Yeah.
So no doubt one of the biggest shocks having one of the greatest captains of all time just do the secret phone call to mum.
Yeah, I had no clue she was coming down and that's just the person Joel is. He's a really good person. So for that to happen, that was really good. I had no clue.
He's probably got a harder head than you, though. So you claim to have a hard head with the stitches.
Does.
I think he's probably got...
I don't get cut very often. Maybe that's a bit different, but...
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Were you close with TK back then?
Not as I would like to be, but we had like a little group, but we weren't as close as we are now. Mm-hmm. We did talk here and there, but we weren't as close as we are now.
Bit similar to the Redo Yo.
Both at Brizzy?
Yeah, both at Brizzy. And you asked them, were you close up? No, not really.
Yeah, right.
But closer now.
Close enough now.
Yeah.
So obviously things didn't work out Geelong. Your time came to an end there. And then talk to me about after that because I've never experienced it, but I'm sure you're thinking like you obviously still wanted to play footy. Obviously felt like you had a lot left in you and clearly do. So what was the next port of call for you? Were you thinking, all right, how am I getting back on the list? Are you thinking, well, what am I going to do if this doesn't work out?
Yeah. I'd got cut from Geelong. It was actually the night after the Brownlow. I was pretty half after the. I came second in the Jim Steins award, so I had to get on the train at like 8 o'clock.
What did you do to get runner-up in Jim Steins award? Like what community work, right?
Yeah, community work. So it's I did work in foster caring, and I'd worked with this program all through the year and try to get more foster carers to take on kids. And yeah, it's blooming at the moment.
That's quality, JJ. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
So
day after the Brownlow, you're probably a bit dusty.
I was a bit dusty. Came in, and they just basically sat me down and said, they don't have a contract for me. So kind of hit home when I sat down and thought about it. So I called Mum and that, and yeah, after that, I wasn't really thinking too much about footy. I was more on the parties than anything. And then, I'd signed with Footscray, trained with Footscray a bit.
I got here that North and Carlton were sniffing around. Is that false intel?
Yeah, so I had a meeting with North. Yeah, that meeting went okay, but yeah, obviously didn't happen then. Didn't have a meeting with Carlton, but they were sniffing around a bit. But yeah, so signed with Footscray and trained there. Got the call up to come here.
So what did you know? Have you ever been to WA prior?
No, never.
Really?
Never.
Yeah, right.
That was the first time.
Yeah, cool.
And I didn't know what to think of it. I had like Quinton Knuckle.
Yeah, Quinny.
Quinton was talking it up and said it's the best place ever. So
was he on the money, JJ?
It is pretty good over here. I'm not going to lie. It is pretty nice.
He's got the rails run though. So for fans that don't know at home, JJ's house is 10 metres from the club.
You say a stone's throw. It's a genuine stone's throw. Like I could hit it from the recording studio right here.
You could. Yeah, it is that close.
Mate, I'm battling peak hour hard in the tunnel and just busting ass to get here. And I just see JJ like literally rolling out of bed, coming across the road. I'm so flat with it.
Yeah, bloody on at 8:30, 8:15, JJ's in his PJs with some toast walking across to the meetings. So you were, I'm not sure if you probably do understand, but for the SSP selection, which is when you came over, I remember you coming over in the pre-season.
Yeah.
It was for Dan Venables. So when Venables, because of his concussion issues, we had a list spot that had opened up.
Yeah.
And you came into the side and initially started playing in the waffle.
Yeah.
Talk to me through that. Obviously, a new waffle side. And then obviously it was during COVID as well. So it was a tough initiation to the club.
Yeah, first year for West Coast Waffle, was it?
Yeah, first year for West Coast Waffle. So I'd come over for the 2 weeks and then played a couple of waffle games, and it's a lot different to VFL.
In what way, JJ?
A lot more space, eh?
A lot more space, a lot more clean, whereas VFL is just contest, bash and crash.
Yep.
So that was a big difference, and I definitely found the ball a lot more. So that was it, really.
You chopped it up, didn't you?
I wouldn't say I chopped it up. I was overweight a little bit, not a little bit, a lot. But yeah. That was a big shock for me, just the difference between the VFL and the waffle.
And was your first game for West Coast against the Cats down there, or was that your last game you played of that first year? Can't quite remember because the injury happened down there, didn't it? Or was it the Sydney game where we got belted?
The Sydney game we won.
Then the Geelong game was the first game you played, I reckon. Didn't you go to the Cats for your first game for the Eagles then?
No, my first game for the Eagles was Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're one and done post-injury, is that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I remember you played really well that day.
Yeah.
And that day,
I tore my hamstring.
Yeah, we just lost 3 or 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
And then I came back inside, yourself, Jakey Waterman.
Yeah.
Like all of us young guys came in, the forward line was basically changed.
Yeah.
And then you played really well. And then after the game, you were like, oh, yeah, my hammy. I think I've done my hammy.
Yeah.
I remember asking the change, I was like, oh, I'll probably be like 2-3 weeker, but it was a bit more serious than that, right?
Yeah, so, I thought it was just a 2-weeker. I'd done a couple of hammies before, but and I kept redoing it, so I had to get surgery, and then I was out for the whole year, and that was pretty much it. So I was done. One and done.
So this is really the first kind of proper tilt you've had at it then, I'm assuming. Uninterrupted pre-season.
Well, last year I was in and out of the side a little bit and had a couple of injuries. So
Did the ankle, didn't you?
Yeah, I had hernia surgeries as well. And then ankle against Sydney down in Geelong, and I was out for 7 weeks.
Yeah, so how's that for a day for JJ? How's your 100-point belting going? Get on a plane.
Yeah, with
my
the
ankle's
ankle
cooked.
the size of his head.
Yeah, go home, lose in front of the home crowd.
That ground, man, I swear
that ground's a curse for us.
Yeah, it's rotten.
Well, post-2006, I guess, but otherwise, yeah. So What was the mindset like, JJ? Did you do anything different this year, or it was really just I need some luck and then everything will kind of fit because the hard work and the talent is there?
Yeah, well, talent's nothing without hard work, so your hard work's come first. So, yeah, I'd sat down with Simo and all those guys when I had my exit meetings, and, yeah, he basically said you need to have a good preseason. So I changed a lot of things, the way I ate, what I drank, and just my recovery, looked after my body. And this is the first full preseason I've actually had without an injury, and it's been good so far.
What I think has been a blessing for JJ Oz, you can pull me up if I'm wrong, is that he's been given an opportunity to play on ball quite a bit this year and been able to showcase what he's capable of doing. I think it's an incredibly hard position to be playing high half forward or a small forward in the AFL, but because of the injuries we've had in engine room, JJ's been let loose a little bit. Some of the games that you've played on ball, footy in hand, you're doing some pretty special stuff. You look impossible to tackle, essentially. So has that been a bit of a not only confidence booster, but a chance to kind of feel like you belong at this speed, at the top level, being around the footy and then, building the confidence from there?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've taken a bigger step in that. But it's all in the mindset as well. I think that plays on me a bit because I'm an overthinker. I think about a lot of things. So when I do get in my head, I don't play my natural game, but it is a confidence thing as well. And Mark Nikoski's been helping me with that a lot. But yeah, I've definitely taken a bigger step in that.
Yeah, I think all the small forwards, so I think of you, Petch, and then Samo that's come across this preseason, even before the injuries, and you'll agree with this, there was always the kind of game plan that you guys were going to roll through the midfield a little bit, not just because of injuries, but even with our full strength side, I think we'll still be playing that similar role. And that's because you guys can kind of bring something different. I suppose a bit more attacking through the midfield, and you guys are all skillful. And like I said, and you mentioned Thumper this preseason, yourself and Petch have been head and shoulders our best trainers. The guys that are done the most training, looked the best during gameplay, and started the season the best as well. Obviously, that round one game was awesome. Obviously, you had protocols second week, which is pretty frustrating, and then last week, getting back into it. It's obviously been pretty interesting. I got a little question for you, mate. There's been 4 West Coast players to play every game this year. Do you know who they are? Judgy.
Shannon Hearn.
The oldest bloke of all time.
Jeremy McGovern. Luke Foley. And we spoke about this yesterday.
Strong defensive group.
Yeah, I know. Do you know who the...
Of course I do.
I know who it is.
Because the 4th is the most interesting one of the lot.
Yeah, the 4th is someone that wasn't even a part of the team 6 weeks ago.
Patrick Nash.
Patrick Nash. How crazy is that?
Nash.
Imagine him. Like, obviously, some guys have different career paths, and like yourself, you battled away for a lot in the VFL waffle to get a chance. This is what, your 5th or 6th year?
6th year.
6th year on the AFL list. And then there's Nashi, who's had 4 years at Richmond, played only a handful of games, and he's played 4 games off the trot while being at the club for 6 weeks. It can change pretty quickly, hey?
It can, yeah. Credit to him as well.
Well, he's getting a good run on ball too. I don't think he would have played much midfield time at the Tigers when he had his opportunity too. So again, with opportunity, he's making the most of it.
Definitely.
And we've used 38 players this year, which is unbelievable. So Brisbane's used 24, Melbourne 25, Freo's the only other team in the 30 category. JJ, what's with the country music, man?
I've always grown up listening to country music.
Did that ostracise you from friends?
Not really, because I always stick to the R&B and tell them I didn't listen to the country. But down home, everyone listens to country.
Everyone?
So yeah,
Mental.
everyone. So it didn't really throw anyone out or me out, so it was all good.
There's a cracking little kids peak video that we're going to do later in this year online for the West Coast Eagles. I think you're a part of it when you got to see it. It's Pick This Bloke. And JJ is one of the best photos I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. No, I have seen it. Yeah.
He's gone full Bieber, and all the players, I think we had a 90% ratio of going, JJ, easy next. But when we show JJ, it was so nonchalant. He's just going, oh yeah, that was my Bieber face.
Yeah.
I was like, sorry, what?
I had a Bieber face too, man. We're pretty similar age, right?
Yeah, I'm 24 this year.
Yeah. So we're from the same generation, man.
Yeah.
He's the dude.
I'm going to need to see your photo.
Bieber was the guy. If you didn't like Bieber, you're a liar. That's what I told all the boys. I'm like, if you don't like him, you're lying, because you definitely do.
Oh, too good.
One more for you, mate.
Yep.
Jamie Elliott, do you just dislike the man or what happened there? Because you have put him into oblivion.
No, I think he's a really good bloke, good player, but
He's a gun, hey?
He is a gun.
jet.
He is a very good player. But yeah, I just needed to try and get myself back into the game, and that was in the last, I think. So yeah, I had to. He was out. And got the tackle on him,
We don't condone injuring people, but like the way you started that fourth quarter, first centre bounce,
Yeah.
the first 3 or 4 impacting, tackling, that pressure stuff that you kind of build your brand of footy on, kind of set the tone for that last quarter, right?
Yeah.
You and the other small forwards who were rolling through there, Duggo, Reddo, all really important in the middle there, right? With your physicality in the end of the game.
Yeah. That's just the spirit side of it, and that's what got us over the line in the end. So that was good effort by the boys.
You yarn to him post game? You offer some of your match payments. Sees though he's going to be missing 12 of them.
I don't reckon Jamie Elliott's on matches anymore, to be fair.
I'm still on a rookie wage, so Jamie, I'm sorry, mate, but you can got this covered.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of questions for you on the socials, mate, for people that were keen to have a yarn to you.
I got none. So
Are you sure?
I made the call out, but why do you think I've got some?
I thought you'd have a lot of questions for me.
I thought I would too, but I had a quick squeeze this morning and I was getting random messages, but not exactly people on the socials asking about you.
It was the first was basically asking about how difficult it was to break into a team that was stacked with superstars. What you were doing from a proactive standpoint, from a mindset standpoint, having to bide your time. I'm guessing we're talking about the last couple of years rather than the start of this, where the seas parted and you got your opportunity quick smart. Yeah,
injuries helped me a little bit to find my way into the team and to play. But in the off season, I had to take a different approach to things, and like I said, the way I ate, what I drank, mindfulness, the way I looked after my body, and just learning the game style as well. That was pretty much it. And then coming to train and bringing it out there. Now I've got to bring it into games a little bit more.
Yeah, I think just observing you, and obviously you're both part of the forward line stuff, your understanding of the game plan is probably the one thing that I feel like you're like the leader amongst all the small forwards now. Like you're the one communicating and telling what to do. And I feel like for me as well, like when I'm not sure what to do, I just start speaking out in the ground, and then it gets your mind in the game, like keeps you engaged.
Definitely, yeah.
This is from Braden Saunders. He wanted to ask
no, I knew this was coming.
if you've kept up with your Connect 4 form in the off season. You could never beat Braden.
They're playing Connect 4.
So Braden is actually my cousin, and I knew this was coming. So when we were younger, we used to play Connect 4, and I was playing my sister, and in Connect 4, and he was making faces behind me. And
I thought he was going to say faces with the Connect 4. That's pretty clever.
Yeah, he was making faces behind me, and she had won, and then I was like, because I hate losing, I was turned around, I was like, stop making faces behind me, and we nearly got into a fight, and he probably would have won. No, definitely would have won that
He
fight.
looks like a big guy with the photo I've got.
But yes, Braden, I have been playing my Connect 4, so be ready for a rematch.
On a more serious note, he wanted to know what it felt like having the family in the crowd for round 1.
Oh, it was the best feeling ever. I hadn't seen the family for a year and a half, and to go out there and play one of my best games for them, it was awesome.
Excellent. Hey, man, you got any questions for us?
I have no questions for you guys.
What are you doing for the rest of the day? Training in the afternoon. How do you fill the time?
You got a huge walk back home. I'll tell you, like all of 30 seconds to get back home.
I've got a big walk back home. I'm going to take a couple of buses. But no, afternoon, get the morning off, get ready to train at Optus. So
you're definitely going to go back to sleep.
I'm definitely going back to sleep.
Cruise.
I've got a bit of washing to do, some dishes at home.
You're such a grown-up, man.
Mate, might read this book. I don't know yet.
What book?
It's called What Happened to You.
You just explained to me before. It's a good book.
Yeah, it's about trauma and how your brain works as well. So from a young age, how like certain smells and things can trigger your mind and your defense. Like I think it's called flight-fight system. But yeah, that's it teaches you on how the mind works, and it's different things you can learn to control.
Yep. What does DNA stand for, JJ?
Good question.
Enough said. Anyway, bro, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it. And I'll see you tonight for training, eh?
I'll see you tonight.
Cheers, JJ.
Bye-bye.
I also want to get the fans' opinion on this, and you're a footy head, and I want to know where this retrospectively sits with you, all right?
Do you want me to name and shame now? Are we doing this now? Because I've got the list ready.
Yeah. Well, I'll name some of the players, unless I'm missing someone from that list. I'm pretty sure that's the list. So what we're talking about here, everyone, is the 2008 AFL National Draft. There's some cracking names in here. We're going to go through it. We're going to name you the major players to come from that draft, and I'm going to get you, Oz, to name who your top 5 picks would be retrospectively now as a recruiter.
Yeah.
Forget about need for position, like we need this, whatever. Just who's brought the overall value and worth.
Okay.
You happy with that?
I can do that for you.
Here are the names. So this is picks 1 to 10 straight off the bat. So we've got Watts, Natanui, Stephen Hill, Hartlett, Hurley, Yaron, Rich, Tyrone Vickery. Throwing fists. Zeeble. That'll be Phil Davis.
Yep.
Steel side bottom, Shuey at 18. So we've gone from Steel at 11 to Shuey 18. Jack Redden 25. Dane Beams 29. Hanbury 30. What a tragic story that's been for Hanbury the last couple of years.
Yeah, I know, right?
Liam Shields 35. I've thrown Mitchie Robinson at 40. Rory Sloan at 44. And Sun Walters at 53.
So I've had a quick look through, and do you want me to include the rookie draft from that year as well?
Have I missed some in the rookie, have I?
Liam Picken.
Yeah. He ended his career tragically, didn't he?
He ended it tragically, but he had a cracking career. Matt DeBoer, he's another player who's probably up there. To be honest, I reckon you've knocked most of them on the head. Mm-hmm. I mean, Tom Rockcliffe had a really good career.
Wow, he wasn't in the rookie. I'd miss him in the national, did I?
Yeah, no, he was in the rookie.
Are you putting him in the 5 ahead of some of these?
No, I'm not. Okay.
He might be in the 10. A debate for
He's
the 10.
He's definitely in the 10. Do you want me to give you my 5 or do you want to give me yours?
He had a crazy statistic, Tom Rockcliffe. It was something like had played the most games without a final because he went from Brisbane to Port and missed both finals runs. It was some crazy stat that he led the AFL in, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, from memory. Yeah, well, you give me 1 to 5.
I mean, this is going to be biased. Can we preface this? Can we preface this that this is going to be...
No, because I thought you would have enough journalistic integrity to be able to say separate them.
Okay, well, this is unbiased, but Nick's number 1.
Okay.
Do you agree? Nick over Luke Shuey. Be honest. At their peak, who's better? I know Luke. That grand final day changes everything, though, doesn't it?
I think you're probably picking Nick, and this is going to sound like such a wacky argument, but what Nick does to a footy club in terms of its marketability.
You're going that route.
Well, it's just got to be factored in.
You're trying to pay the bills.
Call it 10%. Call it 10% of the decision. 10%. I'm staggered Melbourne didn't do it from that alone.
Yeah.
And what Nick would have done for that club and to be the face of that club. Still would be the face of that club, but would you have Maxi Gawn there? It's a great what if.
Yeah, it is a great what if, but I think we can both agree Nick.
Sure, I'll lock Nick in 1. Yep.
Number 2.
Yes.
There's some great names in this list, but Luke Shuey's number 2.
Yeah.
So I've gone 1 and 2 coasters.
Yeah.
I've gone 3 Tom Swift. No, I'm joking.
Do you know what Smithy? Do you know what Tom Swift's doing now?
He's a lawyer, isn't he?
He's got a role. I'm pretty sure he's got a law degree, but he had a. Was he a doctor? Or he was studying medical?
He's a genius, isn't he?
Anyway, yeah, he is. But he's now in charge of Essendon's investments.
Really?
I reckon, yeah.
Investment banker?
Yeah, or in charge of their portfolio, it's a very interesting read.
Right, anyway.
Yeah,
so
sorry.
I've gone Luke Shuey too. That grand final day changes everything. Mm-hmm. I think I know people will send in names that are probably potentially more applicable, but I think he's one of the most underrated players to never be an All-Australian. Thinking Luke Shuey's never an All-Australian makes me sick because he is a genuine superstar.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So can I have your 1 and 2?
It's hard for me to not put Shuey in there ahead of the others that I've put in. I don't think it's
just be honest,
biased.
1 and 2.
No, I don't think it's being biased, but it's very close. I think 2 to 4 are pretty close.
I'd be interesting who you've got 2 to 4. Can I have your 3?
3 Steel.
3's also Steel side bottom for me.
There you go.
I mean, great
no collaboration.
We genuinely haven't spoken about this. I think Steel side bottom, longevity wise, and the skill level he has, and
marvellous on both sides.
Early in his career, vitally important for that Collingwood run to start off. He's an All-Australian quality player. I want to hear your number 4.
I've put Rory Sloan down there at 4.
Rory Sloan at 4.
I've put Rory Sloan down there for... Surely he would have been an All-Australian at some point.
I'm not sure. Do you want me to check that?
I think Dane Beams was the better footy player, but I don't think I can put Dane Beams in there after, from what you're getting out of him from a total perspective. Phil Davis is a really good argumentative one of what he could be like, because I've probably got Phil Davis edging out Walters at 5.
Right, we've gone really different here.
Right, okay.
So
What, you throwing Reddo in there, just going full West Coast nuff bob?
Nah. So longevity-wise, so you look at those names, Sloane was an All-Australian and is a gun, but I don't think he's at the peak of his powers anymore.
No, but yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Is Steele?
I know, but Dane Beams,
Yeah.
a gun.
Yeah.
It kind of is counterintuitive because my number 5 isn't at the level he used to be, but number 4 for me is Dan Rich.
Yeah, well, sorry, the whole reason why we
Is
did
because
this
it's
is because
250
it was
yeah.
250. So I should have prefaced it with that.
My number 4 is Dan Rich, just because of longevity-wise, and he's still so vitally important for them.
He is.
And I think there was a period of time where people would look at this draft and go, oh my God, I can't believe you took Dan Rich over Dane Beams.
I'm going to have to get
Sloane.
I'm going to have to get confirmation from our recruiting team to find out who they would have selected had
I
Watts
reckon
gone one, because I think it might have been Rich.
I think they were gonna take Rich too if Nick wasn't there. But yeah, for me, I've personally gone Rich 4. Do you have a problem with that, or just
No, it's just more a question like it's hard to put
he was an
rebounding.
All-Australian last
It's hard
year.
to put rebounding small defenders ahead of engine room captains.
Well, the other question I have now is it if the game was played now? So say the draft happened tomorrow and these guys were all 18, I would still take Dan Rich 4 purely because of the way the game's played now. Back in 2008, obviously there were rebounding defenders, but the game's a lot different to how it used to be. And you look at all the gun midfielders who were starting to move to the half-back line. You look at Pendlebury,
Number 1 ranked defender in the AFL at the moment.
Josh Kennedy from Sydney starting to play half-back. So it's kind of been the transition. Dane Zorko have gone to the half-back line. And for me, Dan Rich, longevity-wise, was an All-Australian last year, I believe.
I just don't know if Dan Rich is influencing enough games.
Well, it's a great conversation to have.
Yeah.
Number 5 for me, I know you've
I had Walters and I
flirted
flipped with Phil. Yeah, because we're not giving any credit to key defenders whatsoever.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
And I had a look in Phil Davis, and this is like splitting hairs. They're all unbelievable players.
Yep.
I've gone Dan Hanbury 5.
Wow.
So
Didn't see that coming.
So I've got some numbers to come behind this. So Dan Hanbury has had a tough time of it.
Some would say it's one of the worst contracts going around now. And does that put, because this is what I mean. This is what I'm saying. Like Dane Beams in his prime, absolute gun.
Yeah.
But are we now kind of grading it off the last few years for both those players? You know?
Well, I think you're underrating Dan Hanbury's prime.
Yeah.
Because Dan Hanbury in his prime, he was at Sydney for 9 years. Mm-hmm. He played 208 games in 9 years. So that's pretty much every game plus finals. He was a premiership player. He was a 3-time All-Australian, which no one else in this list is.
Club champ?
And he was a club champ. And
3-time All-Australians, very impressive.
and he was the 2015 Coaches Association champion player. So best player in the league voted by the coaches. I think his peak,
Would you rather win that or a Brownlow?
I'd rather win the Players Association one. But I mean, for acclaim it's Brownlow, but for respect to the peers.
You're way more of a chance to win that one, by the way.
Well, yeah, so I'm no chance to ever win the Brownlow, and I'm no chance to ever win the other one. But like, if you weren't a midfielder, you can still win the Players Association one. So I think Tom Hawkins came like 3rd this year.
Okay.
But yeah, for me, I'm going to go with Dan Hanbury because I think his prime was like crazy.
Good.
I'm not sure if you agree with me. You had Walters 5, didn't you?
Yeah, I had Walters, and I was thought, am I going to put someone like Phil Davis ahead of him? You know who we took? You know, I did with this research. We had a pick right before Walters. We took Geordie Jones with that pick.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the draft is so interesting when you can go back and look at it in that facet. It's hard to pot people knowing. With retrospect, it's an easy game.
It is. All right, let's get going.
All right, so we're going to the Hungry Jack's Waffle Watch now. A little segment we're going to talk some absolute
Gas.
pump about what's happening at the level down. So one bloke returned. Elliot Yeo played some footy in the Waffle.
He did.
Were you there at the game? If you're the forwards coach?
What do you mean was I there at the game? I'm in the box, mate.
Okay.
I am on the phone running.
Mate, you told me you're on the couch for the AFL game. I just thought you just didn't move there for the majority.
well, the Waffle game was in the morning.
Yeah.
So the Waffle game was in the morning. Round one for Waffle. Is it crazy to say I'm more invested in the Waffle right now?
What do we got? We got Perth
at Mineral Resources Park.
Cool.
2:10 kickoff on Saturday. AFL game on Friday. Everyone make sure you come down.
Thunder's calling the game.
There's a heated rivalry between Perth and West Coast, because there's a lot of ex-West Coast players. We've got Smudge, my roommate, Fraser McGuinness, Andy Fisher. Obviously, Brady Gray's no longer there.
Where did he go?
He plays for Box Hill now.
Right.
He's in the PDM role for Hawthorn. Anyway.
And Masto's not there anymore.
But it should be an absolute cracker. Anyway, the weekend, we had 7 blokes playing. Harry Edwards in the back line was very, very good. Kind of led the ship from behind. In the midfield, we had Stranatica, who rucked really well. His tap work is sublime, if I do say so myself. Elliot Yeo in the midfield was on limited minutes, but really had great impact and probably putting his hand up for AFL selection.
How many minutes he plays? Aprox.
Yeah, maybe 70, 80. He didn't play. He only played a little bit of the fourth quarter, and they sat him.
Yep.
And then the forward line was Lander the Giant. So we had Izzy Winder, who isn't a Giant, but
That's a weird one to lead with.
Yeah, weird one to start off with. But he played his role pretty well. And then the tools, we had, and this is where we really gave Subiaco some troubles. We had Cal Jamison, who played one of his best games I've seen him play.
As a key forward?
Right.
He's just Swiss Army knifing at the moment.
So we had Cal Jamison, who's 202 centimetres in the forward pocket, Bailey Williams at 200 centimetres at full forward, and then Jack Williams at 198 in the other forward pocket. So we really stretched them for height, and Bailey and Jack Williams also played terrific. Jack Williams had a 10-minute period. I'm not joking. I thought he was Jonathan Brown.
Really?
He kicked 2 goals, took 3 or 4 contested marks. This guy was on a heater, and then he was also on limited minutes, so he came off halfway through the third. But, I mean, I haven't said the result. We lost to Subi. It was the
How
last
many players were they missing from their COVID protocols?
They were missing quite a few.
Okay.
So they weren't a full-strength Subi side, but
Neither are we. Yep.
And we were behind by 2 points with 5 minutes to go. Mm-hmm. Ended up losing by 20 points. I don't think the scoreline was a really accurate representation, but we played some really good footy. And then late, when we had some guys come off because of limited minutes, the inexperience kind of started to show. But a healthier AFL list means a healthier Waffle list. So we're a really big chance this weekend.
You know what the best thing is about this weekend?
What's that?
You got the AFL game first.
Exactly.
So whoever gets held over is guaranteed a game.
Exactly. So you should see a lot of boys playing some footy this weekend. And is it a TV game this weekend? You'd know.
No, it's not.
The Perth game. It's not.
No.
How is it not?
I don't know, but
That's crazy sauce.
Yeah, I don't think it is. We're streaming it. The Waffle is streaming it.
Make sure you get onto there if you can't come down in person. I think it should be a cracking game.
100%.
And that's a Waffle report.
All right. So, how'd you find it being forwards coach, by the way?
Yeah, it was all right.
There's a midfielder's delight when it's that. It's like, you don't need to hit anyone on targets. Just put it up and let them do the work.
Yeah, I mean, I did enjoy it. It was good fun. It was good fun working with the younger forwards as well. Like, if there was an older forward there who wasn't getting a game.
Like who? If Jack Darling somehow got dropped and you're telling Jack Darling what he's meant to be doing in leading patterns.
Yeah.
It's a far out scenario, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm concerned about if there is some senior players. I'm not saying they will get dropped, but like for the instance while I'm still coaching, if someone was to not play and I was like, hey, mate, just keep squeezing up in line with the bike, and they'd hang up on me or just tell me to get stuff. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
Okay, Friday night footy, Optus Stadium. No Nick Nananui, as we touched on. No Buddy Franklin, who's done some damage against us at Optus Stadium. We'll never forget that very first game back in 2018. What are you going to be? You going to be in the box with the boys?
I will be.
Or are you allowed to be?
I will be.
Okay.
Hopefully.
All right, no coaching though?
No.
Okay.
Thank God.
I'm going to take my little boy along. This will be the first game,
Nice.
that I've gone to the footy with my little 6-year-old, so it'll be an
Cool.
absolute ripper.
Enjoy.
Have you got some socials to deliver? You got nothing.
I've actually got very little, so
Okay.
I need some more.
So do better.
Do better.
Okay. Gee, that's a stiff roast, but
Sorry.
you've got to adhere to it.
I had a lot of people saying they listened to the end of the podcast, which is terrific. We love the support.
Yay!
Hit some questions up.
Okay. That's it then, man.
Masters or F1?
Yeah. Did you
I
watch
watched
any
the
of them?
Masters, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a bit riding on Morikawa.
For a top 5?
For a top 5.
Hey.
Gamble responsibly, but I did.
What was he
Gamble.
paying for a top 5? 5?
I think initially he was paying like 5 or 6.
Yep.
But Yeah, I
He
also
played well. He played well.
put a bid on Bryson DeChambeau to miss the cut because I reckon he's a fraud, and he did miss the cut, so that's cool.
It was heartbreaking watching Smithy melt down. But
On the 12th, the triple
yeah, the 12th
into the
was
water.
a tough one. I got up early just to watch him play the 12th. And
Did you think he was a chance going into the last day?
when he had the first two birdies on 1 and 2, this is so boring for anyone that hates golf, but when he had the first two birdies on 1-2, but then Scheffler chipped in on
He
the
is
third.
a freak, man.
And Smithy bogeyed it.
Do you know
That's
how
where
old
I
he is?
Spat it. He's young. He's in 23, 24.
He's 25, but he looks 45.
Yeah. They had a great photo of when Tiger won his last Masters, getting the jacket, and then how old Scheffler was at the time. And like he was winning some junior as a 10, 11-year-old. And they were both together, playing on the final day, which was great.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was. How's Rory? Sorry to make this a golf podcast,
But it's gone for an hour 20, so like, we can have a little bit of golf talk.
How's Rory McIlroy coming through? Like, he is the king of just floating through until day 4 and then just lighting the course up, isn't he?
He was scrambling well. So, like, for anyone that had Smithy to finish in the top 2, you would have been that gutted watching him melt and then Rory
just
overtake him.
Hole everything.
Yeah, but I've never had 4 putts on an 18th hole and won anything. So that's how good Scheffler was. 4 putts, could have had 10 putts, still would have won. So before we go, Oz,
Yep.
can I get your take on the female streaker at the Gold Coast Titans, Parramatta Eels? I wouldn't know rugby to save myself. I've got too many other sporting interests. But
Me too.
Where do you stand on... Because if you had a 70-year-old grandpa or nana do the same thing, this argument, it's not just a gender card.
Equality.
Yeah.
I thought we were believed in.
So you want equality. If you're out there...
I've got to be careful.
If you're out there, is your opinion like you're taking your body health and life in your own hands, like
100%.
the security, and unless
You're breaking the law. Like, who cares? No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say who cares. I'm not saying like kill the person, but if you're a man and you're doing it, the same response. It's like, I want to see you get tackled to the ground, and I want the crowd to roar when it happens.
she got mixed.
The next
real
question
hard,
is if you do the Andrew Simons player on player bump. Do you remember that?
player on player.
No, not player on player. Player on streaker.
Yeah, I do.
So
I
Andrew
do.
Simons, the male streaker, Simons put. Are we then in trouble if a streaker runs on and?
He got in trouble for that, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think the athletes do get in trouble for it.
Really?
Because we've seen it. It happened in NFL this year as well, where someone's gone out and streaked. And these guys are wired to hit people.
Yeah.
Like, choose your sporting events more carefully.
I mean, cricket, you're not necessarily wired to hit people. I'm not sure what cricket games you're watching, but I do understand where you come from.
100%. That is it for Coast to Coast. Another jam-packed episode. Who are we thinking for next week? Someone hit me up saying they want Yowie in here. Yowie would be an interesting one if he came back and played.
Yeah. Let's put that out there.
Should we do Yowie? And just say, mate, we got that many, don't let the fans down. We'll put it on Yowie and say, if you don't come on, you hate the fans.
Yeah.
Just spin
If
it in a way.
Elliot Yo's not in this podcast, he hates you guys.
Yeah, we'll spin it that way and just guilt him into an appearance.
He should be able to come on.
You'd think so. But we'll get Yowie in here. He talks some nuff.
Some gas.
Yeah.
Are we a chance to get JK this year? Probably not. We'll
Yep.
get JK on.
In
Probably
due course.
Probably not.
Ask us some Elliot Yo questions.
Yeah, get me some Yowie questions. I know everyone loves Yowie out there.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a likeable guy.
Okay, cool. Yo's going to come back, coast to coast. That's it. Oscar Allen, another perler.
I've been restless in this chair. I've been moving around the last couple of minutes.
The cameras love you, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.